Hello, I am back with another replay review, and today Widget has entered another tournament, so I'll be having a look at it. Apparently this was the best set he ever played in a tournament. Generally, I don't want to see OD palms. I think they're a bit of a waste of resources, but they worked out this time. The 2 drinks was nice. Very unfortunate timing on the parry. It's just unlucky. Now, was it worth the third drink here? You already have 2 drinks. So what would be better if you go into a block string that burns out Luke? So, you know, all you have to do here is do something simple. I like to do this one. Because you can go with a high or low on the 4th hit. You used to have to do a small micro walk to get crouching medium kick to work here, but now you don't have to. Wow. Right, it's, you know, depending on your spacing, but generally if you're here, you can do it. You can also do this. You know, you can add in SA2 and OD Wrecker, so you could do it from here. No. You have some options. Back to the tournament. So spending a driver's cancel to force burnout probably would be a decent move, because either the Luke has to do an OD DP to get you off him, or spend a super, which he doesn't have. So, you have to look at the drive meter and make your decisions based off of that. You know, get into the habit of looking at the drive meter before you spend your own drive meter, and think to yourself, can I put the opponent into burnout? Do I get a safe jump? Or, you know, am I doing a throw loop in the corner, something that's going to be very beneficial for you and your pressure? I mean, technically, you don't have to parry anything that doesn't hit you. You got a drink in as well. That's very good. This jump here could have got a new anti-air. That was a bit of a risky jump. Well, I'm not sure how horizontal Luke's DP is, but I'm sure he could have walked up and DPG. Okay, I mean, this is a good trade here. I think if Jamie and Luke is burnt out, it's even. You know, both characters are good in burnout, so you don't have to worry. Like you can trade and go into burnout. You have 5 HP 2 LP loops, and I don't know what Luke has that makes him exactly good in burnout. I guess he's fireable. Right here, you can. This is something you should be doing, but on the record knockdown, go into heavy palm. It sets up a strike throw situation. It's +4 on block. So this, I mean, you could have dashed forward and used 5 MP. Unfortunately, the command grab lets the opponent jump out of the corner. The opponent is in burnout, so you should probably strike them over a command grab. Because in Luke's, you know, in Luke's head, if I get hit, like a 2 MP maybe, I could get stunned. So it's more likely that the opponent will want to jump and avoid getting hit, which means you should be doing the striking when you get some good Oki like this. So you've missed quite a huge opportunity here to lock the opponent down in the corner and bully them and win the round. That's okay. This is, you know, a tournament. I think you might have been a bit nervous, or, you know, it's a stressful environment, so we won't be making the best decisions all the time. So, you know, don't feel too bad about it. It's quite normal. It's a good challenge. I'm surprised that hit you. You went for a slower move there. That's why. Okay, it's anyone's game at this point. But here's another tip: you're about to go out. You're about to get your drive back, so you can time your 2 MK to hit the opponent when you'll get your drive back, and then you can drive rush cancel, go into the Shen Shao combo. So right here, this is a drive rush cancel. And unfortunately, Luke clips you with a button. That's okay. You can drink here if the opponent does a backdash or a back jump. Use that time to take a swig and level up Jamie. You could be at drink level 2 by now. And this is a full screen drive rush, which can get checked quite easily, so you want to be half the distance before you drive rush. Give the opponent less time to react, the minimum time to react. That was a good bait here. This could have been a punish counter right here. Like imagine if you were a bit faster on the standing heavy kick. You know, punish counters, 5 HK, Shen Shao combo. You had the right idea here. You just pressed a slower button. I mean, it also has less reward as well. Your drink level 0, so you don't have the overhead target combo unlocked. Oh, you might. Yeah, you need to be drink level 2 or higher for that. So it's not, you know, the only reward you'll get is a counter hit on the overhead or a hit or a punish counter. But all of those things, I don't even think you get a reward because you need target combo to follow up properly. So I guess avoid using the overhead if you're not drink level 2. It becomes a bit more of a risk. Like you have to drive rush to give yourself more plus frames to actually link into other stuff. Yeah, this was a drive rush, 5 HP. So you could drive rush 5 HP, 2 HP, go into level 2. You can do my favorite combo, which is this. On the counter hit, you do. So if you have 2 drink levels, you just go into Deepakai and do about 5,000 damage, and it's very drive efficient. But in your case, you didn't have that, so. But you had this combo, I think. No SA3. Anyway, you have 2 HP at the heavy arrow kick, palm, and then you can get a drink off that. So. Oh, whoops, I was a choke that. Well, big punish counter missed. So there's that. And you're pressing like a lot of buttons here. Miss, 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 and you jump. All of those things, in theory, could be whiff punished and counted, so. Make sure you're actually in range, like you're actually a threat. You're not just pushing buttons too far away. There is a chance that they'll hit. Yeah. You either do that, or you walk forward and do a similar thing. Luke is giving up the space here, so it's working. He's walking back jumping. That's unfortunate. That could have been a punish counter. 2 HP jump in. Or definitely a 5 HK jump and a medium kick. Okay, the wake up tensei kick coming out. Not surprised that got blocked. Quite a risky thing to do. But that also might have been a DP, because I do this as well when I want my DP to come out and I get tensei kick, so. My OD DP. That could have been a misinput there. Okay. Now would be a good time to drive rush cancel and force burnout with the block string I showed you. Okay, you go for the throw. That's okay, you're at drink level 0. Drive rush cancel throw for the drink level 1 is quite important. I think you were complaining about your drive spending being a bit too much because you're in burnout here. But to be honest, you could burn out Luke here if you did a block string, so the timing of you spending the drive is fine because you could have put Luke into burnout, so it's more of an even trade. But it seems that you oh no, in this case Luke got hit by a block string. But that's, I think this is okay. This is a similar amount of drive rush spending as a pro player. You know, they do spend it. Okay, this was an anti-air light arrow kick that you missed. You need to work on that for sure. You know, there's some anti-airs are just kind of free. You're in, like, your opponent's in the corner, you expect them to jump. But maybe if you're mid-screen and there's a weird angle the opponent jumps in on you at, then, you know, that's a bit more reasonable to not go for the anti-air. Level 2 here is fine. Gets you out of burnout. I think 2MK driver's cancel here. Sorry, 5MK driver's cancel here would have been really good. It beats wake up DI, or it gives you time to react to that. You know, you could set up a frame trap with Wrecker after the driver's cancel. You know, you have 6 bars, so you might as well spend it. Pressure the opponent in the corner whilst they're still in the corner. Okay. You could have probably killed the opponent here. You know, 2 HP, driver's cancel, 2 HP, driver's cancel, 2 HP, SA1. Something like that. Unfortunately, because you are on drink level 2 install, none of this resource you're building will carry over to the next round. So your decision making has led to some carryover resources that you've missed. You know, not like a huge mistake, but a small one. And lots of small mistakes add up to you losing. So, you know, when you need to kill the opponent when they do a whiffed reversal. That is some of the basics of Street Fighter. Can't let the opponent not get away with not being punished. Okay, got a drink level in. Perfect round start. OD palm, disagree with it, but you know, it's a fun thing to do. If you hit it, it's like, I got the OD palm. Like that. I mean, I personally would rather save the 2 bars of drive. Because it could be 2 driver's cancels. It could be 2 driver's, you know, 2 LPs, right? And then you get a strike throw off of that. So think about the opportunity cost of what you could otherwise do with the resource that you're spending. And that's a good tip. Because you look at your game and be more aware of the different options you have with the amount of resources you have at the current time. Okay, and then Luke does his standard combo off of 2MK. I believe it was 2MK. Yep. I mean, this is basically what you should be doing yourself. 2MK, driver's cancel, Shen Shao. That's what you have to look out for all the time. You'll get better at it as you get better at neutral. Oh, this drive rush is unfortunate. You know, this is like too much. There's too much going on, too much action. You just need to slow down and let the opponent make these mistakes that have an easy counter. Right? You just sit back and anti-air. You don't have to do anything crazy. In fact, the less you do, the better. That's a good rule to follow. Okay, that's another anti-air missed. It's been about 3 anti-airs now, so you could probably consider this quite a fundamental flaw to your Jamie. People are jumping in at you a little bit too much. 1 is okay. 2 is a bit worrying, and then more than 3 is going to be quite a clear sign you need to practice your anti-airs. Okay, we want to be going for 5MK here for the range. We would actually hit there. Okay, think you're in the phase where you're still learning how far your buttons go. You're still testing your distances. So, um, you know, I think you shouldn't not keep pressing buttons. I think eventually you'll get the hang of the spacings of when you can and can't hit buttons. But just be aware this is another weakness that will get you whiff punished versus a higher level player, especially those laner players. Oh boy, I'll whiff punish you from half the screen away. And maybe go. Okay, that's another anti-air. Plus he's in burnout, so that's anti-air number 4. I think it's good to try and contest here with your own 2LP. That would potentially give you a chance to start 5 HP 2LP loops. You also have level 2, so you could do a lot of chip damage here. Your OD Wrecker is very scary, because you can set up a frame trap on the first hit, you're safe on the second hit, and on the final hit, you can cancel into level 2 and make yourself safe. This was a very nice throw. You can DI here, by the way. Is that a charged move from the Luke player? Crazy. I think you can't kill here because the OD command grab scales you too much. Yeah, you can DI here as well. After a critical art, you have a meaty DI. So bear that in mind. On a back front, you can DI, and on a critical art in the corner, you can DI meaty. That will catch your opponents off guard. And it's especially important to consider those things when your opponent is in burnout. Okay, Drivers 5 MP, not too bad. I would prefer Drivers 2 MK, because if it hits, you can go into the Shen Shao combo and put your opponent into the corner with a drink. They're in a strike throw situation, you will corner the opponent. I would highly recommend round start Drivers 2 MK, Drivers cancel, Shen Shao combo. Because if it gets blocked, you just go for a throw drink, so, you know, it's fine. And then on hit, you go into the Shen Shao combo for some massive reward. Mostly because you put the opponent into a throw loop situation. Okay, this is a 5 HK. Maybe try and do this a little bit faster. You're missing some of the punish counters here, I believe. Okay, good drink. Not too sure on the 2 HP there. You can 2 HP heavy palm and be -3. It does some good drive damage. Okay, that's a walk up throw. You know, don't, like right here, you just walk up throw. That will help burn out the opponent. And okay, you go for a throw, but Luke challenges it. I think you identified that this player wasn't teching throws. So, you know, it's fine. You're not wasting your drive and not getting anything from it, but, you know, it's okay. It's okay. Oh, good throw. Okay, and then we heavy palm here. Remember to heavy palm because you're +4 if it gets blocked. And on hit, you can 5 HP into, in this case, Light Bakai, because you're drink level 2. Safe jump time, very nice. You could have killed there. always go for the follow-up. You know, don't, because if so, probably the best option here. If I go back to the training room, so one hit, you can do 4,000 damage that way, and on block, you know, on block you do the same thing. You could take away about 4 bars, 3.5 bars of drive. Which in this case would burn out the Luke player here. So, but the important thing is on hit or on block. Like the only counter to that is if Luke holds parry. But if he starts doing that, you can do empty jump throw, which is quite scary as well. So it's, the Luke player has to take a risk and make a gamble on his defense, whereas you have a very safe, low risk, high reward option. So you should do that. That's probably the key thing that you want to do. On stream yesterday, I had a very good comment from an Ultimate Master player who just said that the main factor that got him to his rank was consistency. So make sure you're doing these low risk, high reward options every time, and you don't miss those opportunities. That will help you tremendously. Okay, another safe jump. That 5 HP is unfortunate. I would recommend Drive Rush 2 LP. It'll give you time to anti-air with light arrow kick. However, on the other hand, if the Drive Rush 5 HP would have hit, you would have won the round. So there's pros and cons to everything, but preferably go for the safer option. Go for the Drive Rush 2 LP. You could probably still kill with SA1. Oh, the right time to go for a arrow kick. I think you panicked here. You went into burnout. You could have done light arrow kick. Remember, light arrow kick is faster than OD, so it makes your anti-airing a bit easier. Like, what's the reward of you going into burnout here? Because you don't kill the opponent. You know, like a normal arrow kick here would suffice. You don't have to. Well, it's actually a tricky one. You know, at that angle, I think the light arrow kick might whiff. So I guess you just have to identify that you can light arrow kick. You know, remember this situation and then say to yourself, I'm not gonna do anything, I'm just gonna block. That is probably your safest option. Okay. Luke decides to back jump. That's interesting. I'm not a Luke player, but I don't think any character back jumps unless you're Terry on a weird punish counter in the corner. Oh, that is unfortunate. You know, like right here, this is where you should be pressing 2MK. It's like a safer poke that you can cancel your drive rush into. I mean, technically, you could SA1 here. So anytime you're throwing out a 6 HK or a 4 HP, you want to be buffering that into an SA1. Because on hit, you can cancel both of those into SA1 and make yourself safe. This DI should not have hit you. You could have used SA1 here. Possibly would have killed. Okay, maybe a back throw here would have been good. It would have been preferable to see you go for like a 2 HP OD Wrecker level 2 and go for the chip damage, which Luke can't stop. But things worked out anyway. The second round of the second game. You know, you could have been anti-ed there against the better player. When you jump at the opponent, you need to make the jump as hard to anti-air as possible, which means, you know, you're looking to jump behind the opponent because most DPs are like up and forward like this. So if you're jumping behind them, there's a good chance that they will whiff, but also this is a Shota, remember, so their DPs are very vertical. You almost never ever want to be jumping versus a Shota. Okay, that could have been a punish counter throw. You're lucky. This could have been worse. And, you know, spending the drive isn't necessarily bad because we do have a drive regeneration stat. So, you know, the optimal position to be in is like 5 bars of drive. Like you should always be aiming to be at 5 bars of drive all the time. To make use of all of your resource generation. That's why I prefer just doing a drive-rush 2 LP anytime I want to OD palm. Alternatively, I'll OD palm and always be buffering level 2 because on hit or on block I'll get some mix-up, I'll get some reward. Possibly could have anti-ed there. Unfortunate timing for your heavy kick. Okay. So you're close, so like you're like super close to level 3 here. So you could double drink here, just go into SA2 and get all of your drive back. You'll recover 50% of your burnout bar with level 2 and drink level 4. Okay, dash forward 5 MP. 2 dashes. Yeah. One dash and 5 MP would do the job here. I mean, technically, that's so 5 MP hits here. And then you go into your safe jump conversion. Possibly tried to command grab there. Okay. That was just a raw drive impact that caught you. But on the other hand, you know, this didn't kill you, so like this was a very good trade for you. I mean, look, that was like what, 1,000 points of damage? I would happily spend 1,000 points of my HP to get 6 bars of drive. So this is a huge mistake by the Luke player. He's also in burnout, so honestly, he's probably just throwing the round here. Okay, that's, you know, that's an anti-air. Anti-air number 6. Missed. Okay, spending. You know, I think spending drive for like a drink throw, it gets less reward the higher drink level you are. So, I mean, it's probably better just to like drive rush 2 LP Wrecker and take advantage of the fact that you can end any combo into Wrecker at drink level 4 and be safe. Okay, good stuff. Getting a drive back. I mean, you should probably stick to the opponent here. Like throwing the opponent here was a mistake. you should just stick to the opponent and keep pressing 5 HP, 2 LP, 2 LK overhead. Yeah, just stick to the opponent and press your buttons, especially the buttons that move you forward. It was a mistake to drink here for sure. You need to be more aware of what actually causes you to win games, which is burnout and having the opponent in the corner. So make sure that you're pressuring the opponent when they're at their weakest. Yeah, that's unfortunate, but you got the interrupt, the Luke dropped. You know, you could go into like, I don't know, you can find a way to go into level 2 here. Like if you're going to spend this much drive at drink level 4, you know, don't feel too bad when you spend level 2. In a lot of cases, you might win or lose rounds without spending your super meter, so make sure you spend your SE2. Jamie can build back the super meter incredibly fast, so there's not much of a downside to spending it. Okay, good try. Now, the second heavy kick there, I probably wouldn't throw out. Like if the first heavy kick misses, then it's probably a wait and see what happens moment. Check drive rush, check DI, check and jump in. The fundamentals. Okay, we guessed wrong on the ODDP, that's fine. You could have walked out of the corner here. I think you did and you were successful, good job. Oh, that's like from this position, you should know that the overhead doesn't hit you. So this is a punish counter 5 HK, but let's say if we're being a bit more reasonable and you wanted more time to react, this is a 2 MK drivers cancel, for sure. Or just a 2, wow. The problem is because you're low HP, you want to stick close to the opponent and not get zoned out by fireballs. That's the main risk here. Okay, we got the punish counter. Sweep trig should have been the Shen Shao combo, but you've got something. And then you gamble on the OD palm, which this will get clipped out by the fireball. Unfortunate. But even if the OD palm would have hit the opponent, maybe one drink for sure. You don't have level 2, so in the future, don't throw out raw OD palms unless you have OD2 to buffer into. That would be my tip for you, Widget. Luke spending lots of drive. You can walk forward there. Ideally walk forward, anti-air. Safe jump into OD Wrecker. You jump into HP OD Wrecker. That'll build enough meter for level 2. We'll put Luke into burnout. That would have been good. I guess have some more confidence in your defense to just walk out of the corner, because I'm sure you would have identified that this Luke is playing as sloppy as you are, which means you can definitely walk out of the corner. There is a lot of gaps in his pressure that is letting you do so. So you could steal a lot of momentum back and, turn a bad situation into a very strong one. Strong position to win from. Also, you could do like right here. You could do stuff like this. 2 HP DI. Let's actually record that. do something like that. That's a bit more risky. It's best to do 2 HP DI. Yeah, there's a 2-frame gap with driverish cancel DI. I mean, you could even do this. Wow. Anyway, the point is, you could have burnt out. You could have burnt out the Luke player. Okay. Trick level 1. Oh. Okay. Okay, what you should have done here. And you were at drink level 1. Oh no, drink level. Wow. Ideally, you want to aim for this combo. But since you're a drink level 1, you know, you have this. Another good one is this. So pick one of those combos and do that next time you get a punish counter. Because that 2 RP jab ruins your damage. It probably half the amount of damage you could have done. So never do a target combo or 2 RP on a punish counter situation. It will half your damage. Okay, that's a punish counter to MK. I mean, as you get better, your opponent won't be whiffing buttons like this, because you can just whiff punish it quite easily. You could go into OD Wrecker, like 5HK OD Wrecker, level 2. You know, burn out the opponent that way. That would have been great. Oh, you could definitely have pushed a button there. You know. That's unfortunate. Good interrupt. Good side swap. Still alive after this? No. Well, seemed that you pressed 5HK. I think about it this way. You need to be able to react to a jump in. So, you know, the 5HK kind of has a low chance of actually getting a punish counter. So it's probably, you know, don't press slow buttons when you need to. You want to be pressing a faster button that you can cancel into Wrecker, or just anything to get out of the corner. That's your priority here. 5HK has quite a low chance of hitting in the way that you were using it just now. You know, you want to be pressing like 2LK, something fast. Okay, 2 drinks. You could go for 3 drinks here, maybe 4 drinks. I would have gone for the drink wrecker here just to go to drink level 4. I think that would have been worth it. Go for the safe jump. Why are we, why are we doing ODDP? Think of it this way. No, that is a good DP actually, because Luke has no super meter. Well, okay, he has SA1. Yeah. Okay, you took a chunk of damage for that, but it could have been worse. Could have been SA3, so... I mean, reversing this early into a round is probably fine. Okay, that's an anti-air. Anti-air numbers are also 8. Yeah, anti-air is a huge problem for you. Okay. That is unfortunate. Next time go into like 5 HK heavy palm or light palm or something like that. Actually, even then, that might not even kill. Yeah, it's a tough decision to make there. Heavy palm. Heavy palm is better than a jump in. That jump in could have been anti-edge. Something. Okay, anti-air number 9 missed. Unfortunate. That's not a mistake. I think that's a safe jump. Use light arrow kick next time. Don't use OD, DP. Why? You get a bit more damage, sure, but if you can anti-air without using OD, DP, do that. The reward is, well, comparable. Dash forward 2 times strike throw. If you throw out a 2MK, you have time to anti-air. So this is the 10th anti-air you've missed. You might want to consider as something I do a lot. When I get a counter hit 5 HP like this, I'll just walk up and throw the opponent. Especially when you're near the corner, because you can start throw looping the opponent. And with critical art, you can kill the opponent from 1 shimmy from this position. So you do a shimmy here. Okay. You could have probably just done like critical art and killed him there. Like he'll do a vertical jump, then you do critical art, he falls into it, and you have like 100% scaling or something. Okay. I might even drink there, to be honest. Okay, Luke does his autopilot combo. You're actually still at the advantage, by the way, because Street Fighter 6 is a silly game. Okay, now it's more in Luke's advantage. I don't know, actually. You've got to take away 60% of Luke's HP, so you can say that this position is even. That's the funny thing. Oh, well, that's a punish counter 5 HK. And then you could go into SA3 and burn him out with driverish 2 HP. Very unfortunate. I suspect that Luke saw you go into burnout and then he was like, guess I'll DI you. So, be a bit more aware of what people want to do and expect a DI when you go into burnout. because it's probably it's probably going to be the thing that catches you off guard, isn't it? Because if you just go into burnout, you might not adapt fast enough and then identify that you're at risk of getting stunned. And that's the final game. Well, anti-air practice, 10 minutes every day for the next month, and then your next tournament, from this tournament, do anti-air practice every day, and then the next tournament you'll probably win a game. Trust me. That was the biggest issue here, and it's an easy fix, isn't it? I mean, the other fix is just to get better at neutral, just play the game more, but the main concern is we missed 10 anti-airs. 10. It's crazy. Crazy bad. So, but it has an easy fix, so don't feel bad, Imagine that. You hit the opponent with 10 light arrow kicks for free. It's like 50 or 60% of the HP gone, something like that. Anyway, that concludes this mini review of the tournament. I hope you do a lot better. Hope you improve Widget for your next tournament. I'll look forward to watching it again. See you guys later.